Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be continuing into part 14 of What If Goku Was Born as a Super Saiyan. If you haven't seen part 13, there's a title card where you can go check it out and see what happened in the last part. But today we'll be going into the Tournament of Power arc. What will the team look like? Will Universe 7 remain on top, or will they end up losing this tournament? For those who are interested, I own a Discord server for anyone who wants to join and talk more about Dragon Ball with me and other viewers. Maybe give out some of your own ideas of what ifs, and maybe in the future I could do them. Check the link in the description down below. Today's question of the day is from Blazing A. Who are your favorite non-canon and GT villains? One from each. So my favorite non-canon villain has to be, I was about to say DBZ Broly, but he ended up becoming canon even though he's like a different character. So I'll choose someone else. And I would have to choose Janemba. Janemba's pretty cool. His little teleportation thing and his whole like backstory is also really cool. It's kind of sucky that he's not a canon villain because he would be cool, especially where he came from. Now from GT, I would probably have to say, Omega Shenron, like, bro, he's just cool. Or Baby, ooh. I think actually Baby, because I think an arc like that in Dragon Ball would be really cool if Baby was definitely canon. But yeah, that'll be my answer for today's question of the video. If you want your question to be featured in the next video, just comment down a question you want to ask me. Anything is fine, personal, Dragon Ball, anime related, anything. And I'll choose a random comment in the start of my next video. Without further ado, let's dive into part 14 of What If Goku Was Born as a Super Saiyan. After the events of Baby, things would go on as normal, with the Saiyans continuing their training on Beerus' planet, with even Jaima and Bardock Jr. joining for a bit, until one day where Beerus and Whis would be notified about the Tournament of Power, and how they have 2 days to make up a team of 10 fighters. Instantly, Kakarot, Vegeta, Broly, Turles, Granola, and Raditz were decided to be in the team. They still had 4 spots left, and need to think of who they would bring onto the team. Kakarot would then think about the fighters from planet Earth, which they would all travel to, and Kakarot would tell Krillin, Yamcha, and 16 about the upcoming tournament and the stakes of it. They would join in without any hesitation. Trunks would like to join, but Yamcha wasn't going to allow it as it could be dangerous and the stakes are too high, and they shouldn't be bringing that much pressure to the kids. Kakarot was glad that Yamcha understood that he and Raditz told their sons that they shouldn't be the ones to be in the tournament either. Vegeta would then consider his younger brother Tarbles, but he grew too soft throughout the years and hasn't been keeping up with his training. Then that's when Kakarot gets the idea of Nail. Quickly, they would travel to Namek, finding Nail and telling him of the tournament, which Nail would accept the offer, as he has been training ever since the events of Cooler and he has attained new heights of power. And hearing this puts Kakarot at ease for a bit, as now they have their full team and everyone has been keeping up with their training throughout the years. Once they arrive, this new Universe 7 team would be prepared to face off everyone. Now in this timeline, I don't think that the other universes would look at Universe 7 as the bad guys, so I see this being more of a normal tournament than everyone just trying to gang up on Universe 7. But I do see that changing once the tournament would start. Everyone rushes in, engaging in a multitude of battles. The Earthlings would stick together as they know they are the weakest of the bunch, but if they stick together, they will put up a good fight, especially with all the techniques and teamwork they have developed over their experiences in battle. Kakarot, Broly, and Vegeta would be on their own, fighting anyone who is strong, but doesn't use their full power right away. Turles and Raditz would stick by each other, as they don't really doubt their full strength, but rather play it safe, as if they lose this tournament, their universe would be erased, and they do not want to risk that. Granola and Nail would stick together, as they are somewhat of the odd man out of the group, but soon they would both meet up with the fighters that they are interested in from Universe 6. With Krillin, Yamcha, and 16, they are holding on their own pretty well, being able to take out most of the Universe 2 fighters, with their big fight against Ribrianne, Rosie, and Katsuna. The fight between the two trios is immense, with Krillin and Yamcha holding on their own, but 16 is slowly losing his battle. Note, 16 isn't like 17 or 18, so he is a full robot and is only able to get stronger with data and upgrades from Bulma. So he does have his limit to his power, but he still has an unlimited stamina. Seeing their friends struggle, both Krillin and Yamcha would power up, with Krillin using a mastered version of Kaioken and Yamcha going in his mystic form as they begin to overpower Ribrianne and Rosie, and would do a combo attack that would end up knocking both of them out of the arena. But what they see next is shocking, as they look over to see Kankunsa shooting a blast right at 16, but then he was gone. He didn't teleport back to the stage, and no one could see him in the battle. They thought he was destroyed. Now, I don't think the rule of killing would apply here, since 16 is technically a robot, but so is Mangetta, so I'm not too sure. But either way, when they see this, they would knock out Kankunsa, and Universe 2 would be eliminated, but they would be a bit sad after losing what they considered a close friend. We move on to Raditz and Turles, as they are moving really well, with being able to wipe out an entire universe rather easily, with their teamwork and would go up against the Wolf Trio from Universe 9. With Raditz and Turles transforming into their respective forms, they would begin to brawl it out against the trio. Now the two Saiyans are much stronger than the trio Wolves, but the combination of their teamwork and the many techniques that they have, they would pose a bit of a threat to the two Saiyans. With Vegeta, he would take over the role that Goku had when he fought against the Universe 6 Saiyans. Vegeta would meet up with Kaba once again and meet the two other Saiyans from his universe, Kale and Caulifla. Vegeta would power up in his Saiyan Prime form and ask them all to attack him, and they would do so. Even with two Super Saiyans, they aren't much of a challenge for Vegeta, as he did tell Kaba he was holding back a lot when they first fought. Throughout the fight, he would explain to them about his own form, Saiyan Prime, but they wouldn't really be able to achieve it themselves, and sadly for them, also not obtaining the Super Saiyan 2 transformation, as Vegeta himself doesn't have much knowledge of the form. He would still try to train them up to see how much he can make them grow, but he would wonder about Kale on why she is super shy. But once Vegeta puts more focus on Caulifla and hurts her a little bit, this is when Kale would go berserk and show her Super Saiyan form, and would go all out on Vegeta. This shocks Vegeta, as her form is like that of Broly's, but with his experience with training with Broly for a good while, he is able to handle her with ease, and even focus up to dodge all of her attacks with ease. He would work with her and help her be able to gain control of her form, which she would manage to do so, and now with this power, all three of them would try to take down Vegeta, but it still isn't enough. Seeing how his Saiyans are losing, Champa would then have Kale and Caulifla fuse into Kefla, and this power would make them match up to Vegeta. Vegeta smirks and that he is impressed, so he will show them a power he has acquired, as he would power back into his base form and begin to focus his mind. As when he opens them, a silver tint is visible, as he gains a white aura around his body. The gods and angels see this are amazed that Immortal was able to achieve a form that even the gods struggle to do so. Kakarot would see how Vegeta is showing off, so he would decide to transform into his Ultra Ego form, showing off his own power. With Vegeta in his Ultra Instinct sign form, he would battle Kefla and show her the power that Saiyans have, and without her being able to transform, Vegeta would knock her out quickly and power down, as he would want to conserve his energy. Kappa would know that his universe couldn't win, so he would ask Vegeta if he could bring them back with the wish, and Vegeta would make that a promise to him. With the two fighters from Universe 7 showing off their power, this has a big consequence to their action, as Jiren would participate in the tournament much earlier, as he would go after Kakarot. Nail and Granola would end up meeting the Universe 6 Namekians and hit. They each would go after the fighters that they want to face off. Nail will be interested in these versions of the Namekians and would discuss further, seeing how different their race is, but it's shocked to learn that they are the last two Namekians, as their race all fused into the two warriors to increase their power for this tournament. Nail smirks a little, saying it is a shame, as he has reached a level much further than them by just training and reaching new heights. Currently, the two Namekians are stronger than Nail in his base form at least. He would begin powering up as he begins to gain orange skin and an immense power boost. This power stuns them, as he grew this strong without having to rely on the Namekian fusion, and soon their brawl would begin. With Hit and Granola, they would both show off how much they have grown since their last match. Even though Granola did not best Hit, Hit still found Granola to be the most interesting fighter from Universe 7. Their fight would almost be a replica from their first match, but eventually would start working together, as other fighters from other universes would jump in. But their most notable fight would be against Dispo, as his speeds heavily outmatches theirs reaction time, so they would work together to try to fight him off. After Kakarot showed off his true power, he would begin in a big fight against Jiren. This fight makes Kakarot very happy, as he hasn't found anyone challenging yet. Their fight is causing the most damage in the arena, but also was the most impressive that anyone could sense. Their clashes alone was able to eliminate some fighters, but another fight worth mentioning would be Broly against Toppo in his God of Destruction form. At first, Toppo was dominating Broly, but with his controlled legendary form, he is soon able to close the gap in power. With these two battles happening, many people were getting eliminated, and even some universes. The only ones who were managing to stay were Vegeta, Dispo, Granola, and Hit. Jiren would have to power up to his max earlier, as every time he would hurt Kakarot, he would just get stronger from the attack. Their clashes would cause echoes in the void of space, and it seemed like they were at equal standings, but Kakarot continued to push himself to his limit. Vegeta, Hit, and Granola would all try to work together to eliminate Dispo, as he was a dangerous opponent. They were struggling, as in this environment it was hard for Vegeta to focus to tap back into Ultra Instinct, so he went back to rely on his Super Saiyan Prime form. Even with the power boost, he wasn't fast enough to catch up to Dispo. Granola would try to hit Dispo's weak spot with his abilities, but would end up missing him and accidentally hitting Vegeta, cutting off his tail, which worries everyone. And Dispo would manage to eliminate both Hit and Granola. Dispo would see Vegeta weakened and prepares to make a move on him, since he is at a disadvantage, but without him realizing, he is grabbed, as everyone is shocked to see 16 still alive, as 16 would tell Vegeta that he must help the other two win their fight, as those are the fights that matter, as he would throw himself and Dispo out of the arena, eliminating both of them. Everyone is glad that 16 is okay, and Vegeta thanks 16 for the save. Vegeta would begin to try to calm himself and focus to tap back into Ultra Instinct, as now that is his only transformation that he has. The two battles would continue to rage on, as everyone watches. Kakarot would start to reach his limit, as his body was starting to give out, as he would eventually fall out of the Ultra Ego form, and Jiren would send him crashing down into some rubble. Broly would be beating on Toppo and manages to knock him out, but then he gets jumped by Jiren, as he is getting pummeled down badly. Jiren sensed how Broly's power grew the more he fought, so he would knock him out quickly, not wanting to waste any more time, as he would look back at Kakarot, preparing to eliminate him. But then he is sent flying away as he looks over to see Vegeta in his Ultra Instinct form, telling Jiren that he is his opponent now, as they would begin to fight it out. Their fight seems to be on equal standings, with Jiren already being at full power and Vegeta only having Ultra Instinct sign rather than the mastered form. Vegeta tries his best to remain calm, but he does worry a little, not fully sure if he could win this. Kakarot sees the battle and knows he has to jump in, so he musters any strength he has to tap back into his Ultra Ego form. He slams Jiren away as he gets next to Vegeta. He does say that he isn't sure how long he can hold out his form, so they must work together to take down Jiren. They both power up and rush down at Jiren. Working together, they attack him, which overpowers him and doesn't allow him to attack. Everyone thinks this could be it, but then Vegeta loses the form as he's reached his limit. Kakarot sees this and knows that this is it, as he would grab a hold on Jiren and yell at Vegeta to shoot them with his strongest blast. Vegeta would power up a full power Gallic gun, shooting it right at them, knocking them both out of the arena, and being the last one standing in the tournament. The Grand Priest would ask Vegeta what he would like his wish to be, as Vegeta smiles, asks him to bring back all the universes, which does put a smile on everyone's face. And that's where we're gonna leave it off for now. Tell me how you think about the 14th part and how I did with the Tournament of Power arc. How do y'all feel with Vegeta having his own victory in this What If? How will the Saiyans face off Moreau? Will they be able to win against him? What could have happened differently? Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. I would love to hear them. If y'all are interested and enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted whenever I post another part. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next part. See ya.